What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Haze Demon Show. And today we are going to be doing a top 12 best common cards in the entire game. You know what I'm saying? I am going to give my opinion on the top 12 best common cards in the game. We're going to be starting from number 12 and working our way up to number 1, as well as I will be doing an honorable mentions. So there will be some extra cards that I'm going to mention at the end, what I think that almost made the list, but feel like there was a good reason why they didn't or whatnot, you know? So anyway, without further ado, let's check out these super bad boys. I've had so much problems today. Real quick, I just wanted to share with you what I hate to share with you guys, but this is rough. Man, I recorded so many videos today. Too many videos, right? 2 videos. I don't know what I'm saying. 2 videos and almost up to 40 minutes worth of content there. I gotta re-record them over again because the mic is recording me in Chipmunk, and I'm not even sure if I'm being recorded in Chipmunk right now. I can only hope that I can understand what I'm saying later, so that way I don't have to record this video over again. So, anyway, top 12 common cards. Let's go ahead and jump into this bad boy. The number 12 card is going to be Captain Diabetes for the 2-cost superhero themed fighter. With his charged ability, doubles current attack and max health for 5 of the 5 max for 5 of diabetic rage. I don't know what that says. Anyway, what we have here is his ability to boost up his health and his attack twice as much, so he can have like 800 health and he can have 150 attack for only 2 energy. You just have to wait for his ability to come up. I feel like he is definitely a really good card compared to some of the other common cards out there. So he just barely made the cut. He almost made it into the honorable mentions and then managed to fight his way out of there into being number 12. So I found that pretty cool. Just figured I'd share that with you guys. The next card that's going to be common is going to be Rat Swarm. Some of you may think that this card deserves to be higher up. However, I think it has one real purpose in being mostly a defense unit. It is a neutral themed assassin 3-cost with 68 attack and 56 health. There's a lot of units that do AoE damage for sure. Not as many as there used to be, it feels like. However, there is a lot of other swarms out there to counter swarm units and whatnot, and then other units that can boost off of them. So they definitely just do their job very good at being a defensive unit and doing a lot of damage without being interrupted there, no doubt about it. They can be good for pushes with other swarm units, but I just feel like there's just better options, I guess you could say. But that's number 11 at least. And we've got number 10 coming at you. It's going to be Superfard, the spell card themed, superhero themed, and only 2-cost energy. Pushes enemies away from the new kid and deals 145 damage. This is at level 6 again. 145 damage is pretty good. And also, like, if you have units like Dougie or mind controlled units or swarmed units or whatever, you can knock them back and give you plenty of time to be able to make up a difference, especially with Dougie, where if he's about to attack, he'll stop dashing, so he can come in handy there. So a lot of things you can do. You can clear off units that are really low health altogether all around, so I feel like it's a pretty good common card. It almost didn't make the list either, actually. It ended up bumping some other cards out of the list that I thought may have been better, but the 2-cost definitely helps out a lot. And next we have Mimsy Crush, which all the other cards are level 6, but this one you can see at level 7 here with the 118 attack, 2400 health. I believe he has 2100 health and 108 or something like that attack, maybe 107 attack at level 6. Anyway, so he's a 5-cost tank in the neutral theme card, Headhunter, slow, dumb, and he only targets the enemy leaders. He is rather good because he's so tanky. Now the thing is, he's so slow though, but if caught in the right scenarios, he can obviously get in there and put in some sweet uppercuts into the twerks, my dudes. Let me make sure I'm not losing track of where we're at. We had 12, 11, 10, 9. I could probably open it up over here on the other computer, make sure I don't lose track of where I'm at here, because I'm sure I will. So, doing very good being at the number 9, that's right, making sure we're looking to get him to level 8. Even if level 8 doesn't exist, I want him at level 8, you know what I'm saying? So, my favorite character in the game, 100%. Up next, we're gonna have our number 8 card, which is gonna be... Can I get the thing to work here with me? Charge! It's gonna be Priest Maxi, which is 1 cost more, 6 energy. Tank for mystical theme, and he is the ability of an aura that regens and nearby allies. Enraged, which means whenever he gets to half health, he will add an additional 2 times the regenerative ability. So right here we have him with 9 health. He'll be able to regenerate 18 health per second as soon as he hits his enrage. Now the funny thing about Priest Maxi is that he can actually use his enrage multiple times. So if he goes below half health and then somebody heals him, he can get an additional 2 times regeneration. I don't remember if it's adding another 9 onto it, making it 27 healing, or if it's doubling it, making it up to 36 healing. But what I do know is you can keep doing this over and over again to where he has a really massive healing. But that's not something that really happens very often. The fact of the matter is that this guy has a ton of health for 2600 and a decent attack at 88, and also becomes a target for other enemies to be able to want to take him down with Dragon Slayer Red or Unholy Combustion or Cock Magic or Transmogrification, you know. And once he becomes that type of target, then that leaves room for other more powerful cards to hit the field, so he can soak up those kill spells, making him a better tier in that aspect also. But his sheer health and being able to keep other units alive can make a big difference. Very good card indeed. Next we're gonna have, which is gonna be number 7, Paladin Butters. We have the 2-cost assassin from the fantasy theme. His death wish is the closest ally or leader becomes invincible for 3 seconds. 3 seconds is a long time apparently to Red Links, because 2 seconds is as long as program stand, which is not long enough, and Human Kite got nerfed down to Paladin Butters. Why am I saying this? I don't know, but I'm just saying 3 seconds is a pretty decent amount of time, and he does a good amount of damage and has an okay amount of health. You know, for an assassin, like if he had more health, obviously he could trade better, so it doesn't really matter there. Just the fact that he has the decent attack and the shield. He can be wombo comboed with so many different cards in order to make them invincible, like all the Dougies. Any headhunter can benefit from his shield. A critical unit like Stanimini Moons or Witch Doctor Token could get shielded long enough to where they could use their ability for a second time or even the first time, you know. Or your new kid could take the shield also and prevent units from hitting him. Even as far as somebody like Shield Maiden Wendy, who has her own shield, he can give her a shield and then she can use her own shield after, making it even longer of a time. So he has just so much potential for a combo. That's why he becomes such a strong card and so higher up on the common list tier, is his ability to combo with pretty much any card in the game and create value after he's dead. So that is going to be number 7. Number 6, it's going to be Tupperware at level 6. He is a superhero themed fighter. He has 135 attack, 1019 health. His ability is he's immune to all abilities, status effects, and spells, which means he can't be hit by Stanimini Moon's ability. He can't be hit by Master Ninju or Witch Garrison, you know, their buff up attacks or their slowdown effects. He can't be affected by these things. He can't be hit by a fireball. He can't be hit by a lightning bolt or transmogrification or cock magic, which is his most powerful combo that you can do with this card, is using cock magic with him, putting him out on the field, letting your opponent get cards on the field, then you hit them with 5 energy cock magic, and then this Tupperware, which is really tanky, is still sitting on the field and can get rid of the chickens with no problem, creating more pressure on your opponent. His power and tankiness is just very good, even though sometimes it can feel like he's not really doing anything, but what he is doing is he's letting your opponent not be able to do something, and it's a little weird how it works, but it's a very strong common card, no doubt about it. And so up next we're gonna have Robo Baby. Ooh-wee! She is a 3-cost sci-fi ranged unit who is gonna be an absolute monster to deal with for anybody, no doubt about it. For 87 attack, 370 health. Her ability is whenever a Robo Baby kills an enemy, her speed increases, which she can increase her speed up to a certain point. She can't just keep increasing her speed to like impossible speeds, right? She has a cap to how fast she can shoot, which apparently she used to have unlimited cap before. She is extremely good when in the right scenarios. Thing is, she just doesn't have a lot of health. She doesn't have actually a lot of attack either. But once she gets to where she's doing twice as many attacks as she was doing before, you basically say she's doubled her damage, immediately doing 170 damage. I don't know how many hits it takes till she hits, or how many kills it takes for her to get double her speed. But when she gets going, and if she's got the right units like Bounty Hunter Kyle and Bradley, she can have the range and the attack increase to make her a very formidable opponent, and she can sneak bars away from you pretty quickly if you don't have the right energy value, you know what I'm saying? So she does very good for sure, being the number 5 cost card here. So up next for our number 4, hold on one second. I don't know why I'm saying that when it's a recorded video, but I'm such used to streaming, right? So number 4 is gonna be, do I have this in the right spots here? Yes, I do. Ooh-wee, you guys are gonna like this. It's LaBarge Jimmy for number 4. That is an absolute monster here. He is a 4-cost fighter for the fantasy theme with an ability of a Warcry damages and decreases the max health of all enemies by 239 damage. So, for 122 attack he has and 542 health, it's not too shabby, but the potential is that he can do 239 decrease to maximum health, which he can kill units with this ability. Makes it to where, and he hits the whole entire field, makes his potential to be very unlimited, because unlike Aerostorm, you just do the damage and that's it, but you're actually doing the damage. You don't do as much damage as Aerostorm, but you do the damage, and then you have a body on the field as well. And if it's something like countering mind control, you can hit somebody, you can hit Cyborg Kenny from the corner, far away from everybody, gives them plenty of time to be able to get back to being onto your side. And then if there's a whole entire field of chickens and rats and weak ranged units, boom, he hits the field, they're all dead. Nothing to deal with whatsoever. Very awesome. The funny thing is about this card, as you can see here, it says that the enemy max health decreased by 239. However, if you read the description, it says that it damages and decreases the maximum health. So there's actually an amount of damage that he does that the card doesn't say. It should say it right there. It should be right underneath the other stat, and it should say approximately 40 damage. I'm not positive about this whatsoever, but I'm pretty sure that the extra damage that he does is 40. So he actually does 279 damage, give or take, right? It's not an exact number, give or take. So he actually does more damage than 239, but it doesn't say it. And he used to not do extra damage, but he does a little bit of damage plus the max health decrease. So it's pretty cool. I really like the card for this, definitely. And so next we are gonna have for our for our next cards, it is actually a two-way tie. It is gonna be a two-way tie between two different cards here. And the reason why is because these two different cards are extremely the same and but different. Same but different, right? So it's a two-way tie between number 3, and the first card that we're going to be talking about is going to be Powerbind. With the ability at 6 energy, it is a 1.75 range and a power duration of 40 seconds. So even at level 1, it's a power duration of 40 seconds. The only thing that increases is the power range, how easy it is to hit multiple units with this ability. This card will save you. It will, okay, first of all, it's a spell for 2 cost and it's a mystical card. It will save you from so many threats. You can have the Grand Wizard Cartman and Amazingly Randy or Catapult Timmy sitting next to each other, and boom, no more splash damage, no more swarm units. They put out a Stand of Many Moons onto the field, boom, you stop his ability for 40 seconds. Most of the time that will give you time for him time to be able to get to your side of the field. You see freaking Santa Claus, man. You put down on Santa Claus, you put it down on Shield Maiden Wendy and Witch Doctor Token at the same time. You just hit multiple units with this and boom, all of a sudden all those cards can't use their ability, right? So like Stand of Many Moons for sure and Witch Doctor Token are probably the 2 main cards that you hit with this card to decrease their value 100%. Not 100%, but like 80%, okay? Let's be a little more realistic here. But then, any other cards in the game, it's usually better to get the value from this card if you hit multiple units at the same time. So always remember to hit multiple units if you can, but then Witch Doctor Token, Stand of Many Moons, it doesn't even matter. Just hit them because they're that important for you to get rid of them. And Santa Claus and Human Kite, I guess you could say, are almost as important as Witch Doctor Token and Stand of Many Moons, but they definitely are pretty important to hit too. For sure. Human Kite's not going to be as good here in a little while, but it doesn't matter. I think it'll still be worth hitting Powerbind with him on. And then the other card that comes into the 3-way tie is going to be Purify. Some of you would say Purify is even better than Powerbind because you can use Purify on Powerbind. However, I feel like Powerbind is better in the long run, but Purify, you can use it in every scenario that you use Purify, you're getting energy value from it. If somebody uses mind control, boom, or they use mind control on your Dougie, or they use mind control on your Stand of Many Moons, or on any unit, boom, Purify. And that is a 2 energy to a 4 energy trade. Right off the bat, you're instantly getting value. Now somebody uses Alien Queen Red and all of your units are bunched up together, boom, Purify. You got a +3 energy value. Now the Purify again with Powerbind, it's an even trade, so you can't necessarily say it's gonna help. However, getting rid of Powerbind and then being able to use your ability, I mean, it's definitely gonna make a difference depending on how your opponent's gonna continue to play. But your units can be spread out and get hit by Alien Queen Red, and you can choose a specific 1 or maybe 2 targets out of 4 to keep alive with Purify. And I think you're still going to get value. Maybe it won't be the whole 3 energy comparison if you completely hit every unit to save them or not, but you know, it's still going to be like a 2 energy value, so no matter what, you're getting like a +2 energy trade with Purify. The thing is with it is that you might not always run into people using poison, Alien Queen Red, or mind controls. So the card can end up being just a dead card in your hand. You can even use this card against Bradley, but the new spawned units will get the buff, the old units will not. And then you can use it on Master Ninja units that are already buffed up, but I never really feel like that's a good strategy. But either way, it still makes these 2 cards, Purify and Powerbind, one of the easily the 2 top common cards, and I felt like it wasn't really fair to make them have their own spot on the list. So they're both, like I said, they're both even on tier 3 with each other. So up next we're going to be having our number 2 coming at you, and guess what? I hate to break it to you guys again, but it's actually going to be another 2-way tie. Oh my goodness, could Haze Demon not make his mind up? How come we have so many ties here? Well, it happens to be Terrance and Phillip. Oh my goodness, it makes perfect sense. Why wouldn't that be a tie? Terrance and Phillip are pretty darn even with each other, if not exactly the same character. They are 4-cost fighter for the neutral theme, so almost everybody can use these cards with 123 attack and 534 health, and that's for each one of them. So technically when they hit the field, they're immediately doing 246 damage, and they fart when they do attacks. That's what it says in their description. It says 2 buddies that fart in the face of adversity. And so they can attack really quick. Their farts are very fast. They're boom, 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 boom. And they can attack multiple units. They can add into being a part of a swarm unit. They just jump down and they burst down, doing damage and put pressure on your opponent. A very solid 4 energy. They work even at the top tiers of the game, but they are especially beneficial in challenge mode as well. Of course, all commons are very good in challenge mode since they're the highest level normally. But yes, they are a universally very powerful cards. So we are going to be talking about the honorable mentions. These are cards that did not make it into the list, so these are below the top 12, but I wanted to give them a shout out, a quick shout out for just you know, being good common cards. Maybe a couple other common cards could have made it on this list, but I didn't want to just add all of them. That wouldn't make any sense, right? So the first one that we got here that's an honorable mention is going to be Freeze Ray. For 3 cost, this card can save your life. You could freeze Satan, you could refreeze Rogue Token, you could get your low health assassin that's about to get killed by the Zapper. You could freeze the new kid and the unit that spawns, and the assassin can just finish both of them off. 4 seconds is a really long time. Whenever you level this card up, it makes a very, very small difference in the power range. I mean, it can help to have a wider range, no doubt about it. But you can use this card literally at level 1, and it'd be really good because the power duration is 4 seconds. It's crazy. Alright, next we got Gunslinger Kyle with 80. He is a 3-cost ranged unit with the charged ability. Kyle's allies and leader get 143 attack for 3 seconds. Now, the 3 seconds isn't really that long, I guess. With his 84 attack and 270 health, he has really low attack and health for a ranged unit. But the fact of the matter is that if you can get him hanging out in the background somewhere, and then you've just got so many units on the field, which I meant to say this about LaBarge Jimmy, the more units you're hitting, the more value you're getting off of this card. So if you have a couple other ranged units and a tank and Terrance and Phillip on the field, or a bunch of chickens on the field, and Gunslinger Kyle, boom, goes off, 143 damage per unit is a lot. and it can make the difference in winning fights very easily. There is no doubt about it. This card was very close to making it in the top 12 for that ability. Next we have Stan the Great. Everybody knew this card used to be one of the best cards in the game. You had to have this card in your deck or you were not going to be a winner chicken dinner. That's right. Stan the Great, the 3-cost fighter from Fantasy Theme, fell down from his crown and won't come up again, but he's still a pretty interesting card as a charged ability. Reduces the attack of all enemies, for 5 seconds. The 120 used to be a lot higher amount of a decrease. I think it was like over 200 something or whatever. Again, this is a card that can get more value the more opponents that your units that your opponent is putting on. It actually is a pretty powerful card more towards swarms, since they don't necessarily have a lot of attack. They can pretty much be chipped down to having nothing. This can turn tides, but the fact is that he just doesn't really have that much of attack and health enough to really warrant using him compared to other cards. But it is a pretty interesting card. It still actually works out pretty good. Here is a new card in the honorable mentions, is Poison. It recently got a buff, so if it wasn't for the fact that they put a new buff on this card, it wouldn't even have made the list at all whatsoever. But the Poison is actually good enough now. It's a 3-cost spell for the sci-fi theme. The poison lasts for 40 seconds, and at level 7 is a 13 additional seconds. So really, at level 7, this card will truly shine more than it ever did before, even though it got nerfed, so maybe not. But it got buffed recently, and I think that this card works out really good because a lot of people are running low-cost range units like Visitors and Blood Elf Baby, Amazingly Randy, Catapult Timmy. There can be some other units, but it really isn't going to be very effective against legendary units because they have so much extra health compared to other ones. But this can help clean up problems like whenever a Bounty Hunter Kyle and whoever, Cupid Cartman could even be in there now, that you can just throw the poison and you could easily get your value, the 3 energy for like an equivalent of 5 or 6 energy that you'll be able to kill with this card. So I think it's still, nowadays, it's still got more value than it did before from the buff, and it has more purpose because of the type of decks that people are running. So definitely it's an underrated card right now. But that is going to be it for the honorable mentions. We are now going to introduce to you the number 1 common card in the game, and that is going to be Blood Elf Baby! Ooh-wee! Can you believe it? Oh, you better believe it. Blood Elf Baby is the 3-cost ranged unit for Fantasy Theme. She has 141 attack, 366 health, and her ability is whenever Blood Elf Baby kills an enemy, her max HP increases, and she heals by 167. I'm actually not sure how much that she increases her health by per kill, but it says that it says it right there. Max HP boost is 167, but it says she heals. Okay, so it's the same thing. Don't let me, I'm getting confused reading it all of a sudden because I started to overthink it. Anyway, this 3-cost card can easily just finish off so many units because it has a pretty strong 141 attack and strong amount of range. She can be easily double the amount of health that she has, to the point of her being a legendary level worthy of health, like 1,000 health and whatnot, easily by just killing a couple chickens or half a swarm of rats and a couple of your weak fighters. She just picks off units here and there, and all of a sudden now she's this super tanky unit. She has, like I said, she has good amount of range, and she starts out automatically with 60 more attack than Robo Baby. So like as soon as she hits the field, she's already doing a lot of damage. And for being 3-cost, it makes it really easy for her to be able to just slide into any fantasy deck unless you're like me and I like Amazingly Randy, Catapult Timmy, and other legendary ranged units. I like those more. But she can definitely do very good in the low cost decks also, and just no matter what, she can definitely be a thorn in anybody's butt cheeks because of the her healing ability. Just keeps her alive. It just keeps her alive long enough that she can make it to your new kid, and she's locked onto your new kid, and now you're lightning bolting her, and guess what? She didn't even die because she has so much health. Which some people would say that they'll use Unholy Combustion on her or Lightning Bolt. I never use none of that stuff, but I have other ways to deal with her being a sci-fi fantasy player, so I don't have to go to those extremes. But she definitely deserves being #1 common card in the game, and that is my whole tier list for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. Let me know what your thoughts are on the top common cards and where you would place them. I feel like this is a pretty solid list after I've been playing this game for over 2 years. At the top of the game, howdy doody, Miss New Booty. But I'm gonna see you guys next time on the streets of South Park. I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to bring a towel. Peace out.
Young people from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their part. Are you? Join the Towel Nation and save the world. Service guarantees citizenship.